Rainfall and temperature drive mosquito populations in Atlantic forest. Bromeliads rainfall and temperature drive mosquito populations in Atlantic forest. Bromeliads malaria's presence looms large in the history of Brazil's Atlantic forest. Decades ago, the Anopheles cruzii mosquito, responsible for transmitting malaria, became a terrifying reality, earning the region the ominous moniker, Bromeliad malaria. This chilling name arose because these mosquitoes depend entirely on bromeliad plants' water-holding tanks nestled within the forest for their development and propagation. While today malaria is no longer the scourge it once was in the south and southeast of Brazil, the threat persists. A recent outbreak between 2017 and 2024 saw 77 confirmed cases in São Paulo alone, underscoring the continued importance of understanding these vectors. The Atlantic forest serves as a crucial habitat for Anopheles cruzii, a scenario mirrored by regions like the Amazon, where malaria remains endemic. New research published in scientific reports sheds light on the environmental factors that dictate mosquito populations within these bromeliads, potentially offering clues to future disease outbreaks. A team led by researchers from the University of São Paulo School of Public Health, FSBUSB, spent 2 years meticulously monitoring larval presence in bromeliads across the Capivari-Manos Environmental Protection Area. Climate change and mosquito habitats, the study unveiled a clear link between rainfall patterns, temperature fluctuations, and the mosquito larvae thriving within these plants. Rainfall directly influences how much water accumulates inside each bromeliad. This volume, however, isn't just a matter of quantity. Temperature plays a crucial role in altering the physical characteristics of that accumulated water. pH levels shift, dissolved oxygen concentrations change, and this impacts which mosquito species can successfully inhabit these miniature ecosystems and in what numbers. Some projections suggest climate change will alter malaria transmission patterns, explains Antonio Ralph Medeiros de Sousa, lead author of the study and a researcher at FSBUSB. Regions like East Africa and parts of South America might become more susceptible to malaria, while existing hotspots could see declines due to extreme warming. Understanding factors driving mosquito populations is critical for predicting these shifts and their potential consequences for public health. Data collection. A long-term view from 2015 to 2017, researchers collected data from 9 bromeliads at 3 distinct locations within the Capivari-Manos Environmental Protection Area. 10 sampling periods were conducted over this period, allowing scientists to meticulously track changes. Each collection involved measuring accumulated water volume, pH levels, salinity, and dissolved oxygen concentrations. Crucially, they also retrieved mosquito larvae present, later identifying species, or genus when precise identification proved impossible in the lab. To contextualize these findings, researchers incorporated rainfall and temperature data maximum and minimum values recorded over the preceding 30 days for each collection period. This comprehensive dataset allowed them to analyze complex relationships within the ecosystem, unveiling the cascading effects employing statistical models that examined cascading effects. The team dissected how initial environmental disturbances, rainfall and temperature, ripple through interconnected ecological processes. Water volume. They first assessed rainfall and average monthly temperatures' direct impact on water volume within bromeliads. Chemical shifts. Next, they explored the relationship between accumulated water volume and variations in pH, salinity, and dissolved oxygen levels. Mosquito diversity. This was followed by investigating how these chemical changes correlated with mosquito occurrence, species richness, and abundance within the bromeliads. They focused solely on species encountered 5 or more times during their study to ensure statistical significance. Chain reaction. Finally, researchers delved into direct and indirect effects of rainfall and temperature on both physical-chemical parameters and mosquito populations. The impact. More than just mosquitoes, the study uncovered a diverse collection of 523 mosquitoes belonging to 23 species across the bromeliads. Among these were Anopheles cruzii, Culex, and Wyomia. While the latter 2 genera are not disease vectors themselves, their sheer numbers can still cause discomfort through bites. Notably, each bromeliad hosted between 7 and 15 species. Only 10 consistently appeared throughout the study. The richness and abundance of mosquitoes fluctuated significantly based on pH levels, salinity variations, and importantly, the interaction between these two parameters. pH proved to be a dominant factor in determining the presence of 5 out of the 10 most prevalent species, including Anopheles cruzii. Public health implications. A complex landscape, these findings raise critical questions about public health risks. Sousa emphasizes that while climate change projections indicate potential shifts in malaria transmission patterns, understanding these changes is key for developing appropriate interventions. Anopheles cruzii isn't like the urban dengue vector, Aedes aegypti, he cautions. Control methods employed against those mosquito species are not applicable here, and simply removing bromeliads, a strategy used during past outbreaks in Brazil's southeast, is impractical. Instead, Sousa suggests focusing on natural control mechanisms within wild environments. Predation by birds or fish, competition with other species, all factors that could mitigate the effects of an increase in Anopheles cruzii populations. Perhaps the impact won't be as dramatic as it would be for a mosquito adapted to urban settings, he speculates. Regardless, continued monitoring and research on these mosquitoes is vital due to their potential role in zoonotic malaria transmission within the Atlantic forest. The possibility of infected monkeys passing the disease to humans through Anopheles cruzii bites adds another layer of complexity to this ecological puzzle. While this study doesn't signal an immediate outbreak risk, it illuminates how environmental shifts directly influence mosquito populations and ultimately affect public health. This knowledge is vital for predicting future scenarios, especially as climate change continues to reshape our world.